What's going on? What's going on, man?
What's up, man? What's up? How you doing?
Good, good. For y'all that don't know, we got a special guest on right here. This is I guess you consider a church brother. It's kind of weird because you way younger than me.
Man, yeah, I'm a brother in Christ. I'm a brother
Yeah,
in
man.
Christ.
All right,
So
so this right here is Minister Christian. We're not all stuck up. You don't gotta call him minister, but
yeah,
he is.
my name right down here. I'm not all about them titles. Just call me
Yeah,
Christian, brother Christian. It doesn't
yeah,
matter.
for sure, man.
Yeah, so you know the best people in history didn't go as you know such and such Paul. We knew him
Apostle.
as like
Yeah,
we know
yeah,
him as the Apostle Paul, but we know Paul
for
or we
sure.
know like Moses. All these people they didn't go by their title and that. So
Yeah.
title is good to have, but that's not what we live for. So yeah,
So since we jumping into it, like how long you been a minister officially?
man, I've been a minister since March. Now it's December at the time of recording. So this is my first I guess year of being
Yeah.
a minister. Um, it's been great, man. It's been a different type of experience since, but I like what I do and everything like that. So it's a blessing.
Yeah, I already know, man, because
Okay.
I met this guy like about 12 years ago. We go to the same church, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
but when I first came, he was like, what, 8 years old?
And I was like, what? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, man. So here we are now, 12 years later, and he a minister and everything. So I watched this dude grow up from running around, playing basketball in the gym and all that type stuff. So now he out here really preaching sermons. So that's a good thing for sure. But
Yes.
like what you was gonna say?
No, I was just commenting.
Yeah. But like what I may have asked you this before. And for y'all that don't know, we also on the Impact Podcast.
Yeah.
He's the host of Impact Podcast. I shout us out, but unless y'all tuned in, y'all might not have formally met him. So here's
Mhm.
his introduction. And we'll have Imani on here one of these days, hopefully.
Yeah.
And but I probably asked you on the podcast, but I just want to ask you again, like, how did you know for sure that it was your time to step into ministry? Was it like a feeling, or did someone say something to you, or how did that go?
Okay. So basically how it all went down was it's kind of years in the making.
Hmm.
Because when I was younger, when I was like 8 or something like that, I used to go around conventions and stuff, and I would say I was little bishop. That's when I really liked the
Yeah.
titles and everything like that. And I was like, yeah. And somebody else from the Way of the Cross knows me. I was like 6 years old talking about I'm going to be youth president one day. I'm going
Yeah.
to be and all this type of stuff. So I wanted when I was a kid, I really wanted to preach and everything because
Mhm.
I liked that whole part of it. But as I went into my teen years and everything like that, I was like, I really saw what goes into ministry, like being a minister for real. Like my
Yeah.
dad, my grandfather, my cousins, everything like that. And I was like, this ain't something that's just you get up there and preach and call yourself a minister. Because if you're in it for that reason, you're not in it for the right reason. So from I would say what 13 to 16, I had no desire to be a minister. Like
Yeah.
I knew it was like a calling on my life, but I was trying to kind of form my own thing instead of doing what God's plan was. That's
Uh-huh.
why my initial sermon was God's blueprint, not mine.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
um, when I turned, how old was I? When I was turned 19, I accepted my call to ministry. So
Okay.
Apostle Cannady had passed and everything like that, and it's like the before he had passed away, I was really praying because I felt it was strongly on me. I was like, Lord,
Yeah.
Lord, like I don't know what's going on. Like I feel like I'm called to ministry and everything like that. And then I saw a video. I saw a video of something that he had said
Uh-huh.
when they did his documentary for it. He was about to turn 101 years old.
Okay.
So it was a video, and then through it, it was like this is confirmation of like some stuff he was saying. And
Yeah.
it's like, this is like confirmation and everything like that. And then after that, I basically, in the summer, I was like, okay, I believe I have a calling over my life and everything like that.
Hmm.
Everything like that, especially even at 20 years old, a lot of people, it's kind of like, for some people it's super early. Other people it's kind of like, regular time to begin your ministry and everything like that. But I mean, it was just a crazy thing because before this time, like 18 and all that type of stuff, I was kind of battling with it, but I didn't really want to do it because I didn't like speaking and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't like public. I still don't like speaking too much, like public speaking, but it's not my will. Like, I preach
Yeah.
initial sermon. It's not my blueprint. Like, we're only here to do what Christ needs us to do. And if I'm supposed to minister to people and then I won't speak, then what am I here for? Like, I have to fulfill my purpose in Him. So yeah.
Because some people think like, I mean, I know I kind of battled this, like when you step into ministry, you almost think like you're supposed to automatically know everything that you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You're not. Like,
Yeah.
people try to give people that the impression, like, because you're a minister, you won't have the same struggles as other people.
Yeah.
Or because you're working in ministry means you're a perfect person. But that's like totally false, because sometimes the enemy comes at us harder because the position that we're in. And even though I'm not about titles, and I know you're not too much about like titles, like we have them, but it's not something that we just go around like meeting new people telling them about. But
Exactly.
yeah, like I won't go up to, like, some people will go up to people and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm minister such and such," or "I'm such and such." Where, like, if you're like if you're far along the line and like you're a bishop and like, you can do that because you're really seasoned. But some people, they be bishops in their 20s. I'm like, man, what? Like, why you a bishop in your 20s? You know what I mean? So it's
They didn't
just,
go through that process, man.
yeah, they didn't go through the process. And in ministry, it takes a process because it's some things that you will only learn with time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, let's say you go into the gym. You can't just go to the gym and then expect to be ripped in 2 days. You know what I mean? Like, it takes time. Even though if you eat right and do all this type of stuff, it's going to take time. Like, some people get into the thing with steroids and stuff like that.
Yeah, trying to speed it up.
But if you speed it up, guess what? It's not going to be right. You get what I'm saying? You're going to mess up other stuff. Like, you're going to mess up your heart. You're going to mess up other organs trying to look right on the outside. But on the inside, you're not right. That's the same thing with ministry.
And that's crazy how that analogy went.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like, you look good on the outside because you want to rush, but on the inside, you like destroy, basically.
Exactly. And that's what ministry. You got to realize that God's building you. Like Abraham he wasn't Father Abraham just initially.
Yeah.
I just preached a couple months ago. Joseph wasn't a ruler when he was boasting before his brothers, but it took time and he had to learn lessons. Like, you're not going to know these things. You're not going to have wisdom until you live through it. And with ministry, a lot of people, they go to like, what do they call it? School where you can, like, is it like seminary school? And everything like that, where you can learn all that type of stuff. But that's great. I'm not speaking against it. Don't get me twisted. Like, I'm for it. I would even do it myself.
No, but some people go there just to go and get that paper.
Yeah, they
say,
go
okay, now I'm a minister. You know what I'm saying?
And they get the paper, they become a minister, and they're like, some are called, others are chosen, others, in my opinion, like, I would say this, some are called, others are chosen. Basically, that's good. But then others basically just went because there was money out there.
Yeah.
Because the thing about it, if you go in ministry, a lot of people are in ministry for the money and clout. So, I'm not in it for that. Like me, if I preach and stuff like that, I don't be looking for like no type of this offering, because that's not what I'm in it for, man. Like I'm not down here to play around with ministry and stuff like that. Because if I was out here just trying to make money, there's way more other stuff I can do. I don't play around with God and stuff. So
yeah, I'd be so scared to like do stuff, and I see people online, and it's like, man, y'all don't got no fear at all.
Yeah.
what y'all doing? You know?
They don't have no fear at all. But I'm like, you don't play around with God, especially in his people.
Yeah. And back to what you were saying about like having it all together and all that. Like when I got ordained, I almost kind of thought when they laid hands on me, it was gonna be like this special, powerful,
Yeah,
like I
it's
was
like
gonna
gonna
stop
be like,
doing certain
yeah,
things. But you have like not saying that I'm out here acting crazy, but I mean like, everybody has their thing and where they struggle with. And I
mm-hmm,
just kind of thought that the struggles would just fall away.
mm-mm,
But and then I got to a point where I almost kind of felt like a hypocrite.
yeah,
But it was, you get what I'm saying. I'm like,
yeah. The
don't get
devil
me
uses that
wrong.
as a tool. He'll use that as a tool.
Yeah.
So like,
I'm not out here like purposely like doing crazy stuff, but you slip.
yeah, the devil will come at you harder with more clever
Yeah.
demons. So this is the thing. What is the scripture? I gotta go back. I gotta go to the exact scripture, but it's the scripture that basically says that the enemy will leave you for a season, but then he'll come back with 7 demons stronger. So basically, with that being said, us being men that are like not just like, let's forget the title. We're just brothers just trying to get to heaven. That's at the end of the
Yeah.
day. We if we were never called a minister, if you never called a deacon, if you was never called a bishop, a missionary, a whatever it might be, a greeter,
Mhm.
we are all trying to be saints, just trying to get to heaven. That's all we're trying to do. So with that being said, the enemy, with us being children of God, will come at us stronger than he'll come to those that's out of church. Because if
Yeah.
you're not in church and you're not trying in life, enemy don't have to do
You don't
anything.
have to do much.
You don't
Yeah.
have to do anything
Like
because
you
you know
already
that
good.
he already knows I don't have to fight. So like, I don't have to come at them with anything strange. They can just be a good person. Like we know a lot of people that's good people, but they're
Mhm.
not people in Christ. You know what I mean? And nothing
Yeah.
against them. You can be a good person, but it's still not going to get you to heaven. But when you are trying to do things in Christ, the devil will come at you clever with the thing
Yeah.
that you want most, or with the thing that like you think like. Think about this: like you never work on Sunday a day in your life, and then you don't have a job. All of a sudden, you become a minister. Here, you get a job, and you're like, God bless me with a job, and then boom, if you work on Sundays, you get $2,000 more. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like stuff like that be popping up and stuff, and especially as body believers, and we just gotta know to sacrifice those things for Christ. So,
Uh-huh. And then I found the verse as well while you was talking. It's Matthew 12:43-45, and then it's also Luke 11:24-26.
yeah,
And it explains both of them. But okay, here's Matthew 12:43-45. When an unclean spirit goes out of a man, he goes through dry places, seeking rest, and finds none. Then he says, I will return to my house from which I came. And when he comes, he finds it empty, swept, and put in order. Then he goes and takes with him 7 other spirits more wicked than himself.
exactly.
Yeah, and they enter and dwell there. And the last state of the man is worse than the first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what the enemy does, he'll basically be like, okay, you got me this time. He'll go back and get people that's way more clever. He's like, okay, it's like film. He's studying film on us. So all he's doing is this. He sends us something. He's like, okay, what normally gets 90%, 95% of men?
Yeah, man.
Women. So he's
Women,
yeah, he's gonna be like, okay, let's
money.
send a woman his way, and then okay, he didn't fall for that, but through that woman, I was taking notes. Okay, he didn't like what she did here. He didn't like what they did here. So when she leaves or when you drop her, I'm gonna bring back another woman that really does it for you.
Yeah.
She's gonna be that Jezebel. She's gonna be that whatever. And then she's going to be like basically what you were saying, 7 demons stronger than the last one that was just a counterfeit to be something else. That's why you got to stay spiritually minded and prayed up, because you pray against those things that might be. I'm using a woman for example, but it's other things too. He might send you that job or something like that. That's okay, but you are not intending to stay there. But now he knows your playbook. He knows your hand. So now he's going to bring another job where it's going to keep you out of church. It's going to do all this other type of stuff. And you can use as many examples of different things in life. I use women and money because that's two things. At least me personally, as a man, like I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like those are two things personally where it's like, as a young man, it's just hard to stay in a narrow path because you're like, okay, I have a desire to make a lot of money and I have a desire for like a relationship or something like that. You know what I mean? So, and I mean, I'm not sure if I'm the only one in the world, but I'm an honest. Like one of my bosses told me this. He said, "You'll go far in life if you are honest with yourself," because a lot of people, they are not honest with themselves, and then they'll lie to themselves forever.
Yeah, and you trying to live up to this lie, like
because think about this. You're lying to yourself every day, and you're not being like, when you lie to yourself and you're not honest with yourself, you can't ever get better because you got to come to the realization of, I'm doing this wrong, or I'm going after the wrong thing, or maybe I'm not as good as I think. So once you realize that, you can become better. So you got to be honest with yourself, and you got to realize you got to call out the enemy for what he is and what he does. You be like, enemy, I know you calling my card. You're calling the thing that might get me or whatever. So you have to call it out, and that's how, when you're honest with yourself, you can properly pray against those things and rebuke those things.
Yeah, and another thing I like to mention is that when you do fall, because you will fall, don't just sit there and give up, because I know sometimes, like I know I used to deal with it a lot, like you would think you just messed up so bad that you can't be forgiven and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? So my advice is to just get up and like brush yourself off and keep it moving, because you're gonna fall until the day you die. You know what I mean? You still there? It went out. It went black. Hey, it looked like we lost him, man. But we raw and uncut, y'all. Welcome to Nuriah TV. This is what I was talking about right here. We raw and uncut. We're not cutting out nothing. We're keeping it just like that. He gonna be back in a minute. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead. I can hear movement a little bit. You still there?
Can you hear me, man?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, man. Somebody's trying to call me. I'm trying
to
yo, bro. It's crazy, man. That's the enemy.
Yo, I see this online all the time on YouTube.
Yeah.
It'll be just like this and they'll go black.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry, bro.
No, you all good.
It's Lincia. Shout out to Lincia.
I know the producer, Lincia.
She's trying to mess up the whole thing, man. Hold on. Look, I'm trying to tell her I'm on the show.
No, you all good. Raw and uncut, y'all. This is what we do. This is what we go through. I want to thank y'all once again for tuning in. For all y'all who haven't already, go check out Impact Podcast. There is a new Instagram page. All right, Christian back. But I'm just giving out that Instagram page first real quick.
Raw and uncut. Impact Podcast Show. Impact Podcast
Show. Impact Podcast Show.
Yep.
And I'll put it in there too. Impact Podcast Show. So y'all go and check that out. On YouTube, you can go to the Rockstone Church channel and find the Impact Podcast on there live, as well as Facebook, I believe too, right? Or did you stop with the Facebook?
Facebook, we post them every once in a while, but YouTube is the best place to get it consistently. Yeah,
so check out the YouTube, I would say, and definitely the Instagram as well, because I know y'all all got Instagram out there. Thanks. But speaking of Instagram and the podcast and all that stuff, like they might not know, what is it that you really do, man? Because you do a lot, and I can tell them, but I want you to tell them. Okay, first off, in church, in the podcast, what's your main thing that you do?
Okay, so I mean, my thing is this. The main thing that I do as far as my ministry, we've already discussed the ministry.
I mean, as far as like your skill.
Oh, skill.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I would say my first skill that I've probably I'm doing a lot in is my media. Right now. Yeah. Many people don't know, but I have a business like Cannadyvisions, And my main project that I'm doing right now is live stream for Rockstone Church. And
Exactly.
I have a team together, and we've been together for a couple of years now. So,
And by the way, Cannadyvisions is right there at the bottom. He
oh
has
yeah,
an Instagram for that as well.
yeah. So Cannadyvisions, I do live streaming, with anything. I can do weddings. I've done funerals before.
Wow.
I've done, of course, church services and stuff like that. And just any type of thing as far as this Christian venue and stuff like that.
Yeah, come into our club.
Yeah, I'm not live streaming at no club or anything like that. Nothing, no exotic type of photography and all that type of stuff, bro. I don't be doing that. But I mean, as far as just straightforward stuff, I can do venues, even graduation ceremonies. Or whatever. Even I do edits. Like I made the logo for Impact Podcast. I made a logo for Darren before.
Yeah, you did make me one, and I have it as my banner on YouTube, actually.
Yeah, so I made his like secondary logo or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I made a lot of the graphics we use at Rockstone Church. I made thumbnails and stuff for people. And it's like I do drone shots. A lot of people don't realize, but I actually have my drone right here right beside me. But
oh yeah, I seen him on that Cannadyvisions page.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this though. If somebody was starting up a podcast, would you be willing to like do all the media for them?
Yeah, I would.
Because I think that would be cool as well.
And I can even do a session even for people that's new to live streaming. If they're trying to get their church live stream up, I've done like a session with other churches too. And even if you just want some advice on a starter kit, you just send me like the prices and stuff, like what your budget is, and I'll send you the stuff personally to your address of everything you need to live stream depending on your budget. Like if you give
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, like so like let's say this, you pay me $500 or something like that. I'm going to send you like $500 wouldn't be paying me, it would be like paying me to get the stuff for you. And of course
I see it. Yeah.
So like let's say that you're going to send me $800, but you want to get $600 or $700 worth of equipment. I'll get the equipment you need, and then I'll send it to you, and then I'll show you how to set it up and everything like that. And I can do it like that. Or if you have something where it's like, let's say you're trying to get $15,000 worth of equipment. Like, like that's starting to get like our equipment at Rockstone Church. We're getting up there as far as like that.
Oh yeah, we did sit down and kind of like tally it up at one point.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
We have a nice setup. I'm not gonna put it all out there.
Yeah, no, y'all be done kicked in the door one night.
Yeah, it's north of 20 to 25, so we have a nice setup we have in there. But I can show you how to do things like that as far as with visual boards and all that type of stuff under Cannadyvisions too. And it's really been a blessing to me and everything. And Cannadyvisions also covers me as a drummer. A lot of people, they'll be like, Christian, you play an instrument? They don't even know I play an instrument. And so like you would have to be like in church or like at a convention or something like that to know I play. But
and I'm gonna put you out there, man.
Yeah, as far as like my friends is not like goes to my church or anything like that. They'd be like, man, I didn't know you played instrument. And then I'm a drummer and everything like that. I don't like boast of myself and say I'm good, but I'm close to professional. Like I can play for venues and stuff like that. And
I'm gonna put you out there, bro. Sure. I heard that you played a saxophone.
Yeah, man.
Is that true?
Drums. I do play saxophone. But drums is my masterpiece. If you get what I'm saying. That's my
hold
bread and butter.
Like with the saxophone, could you jump in and like keep it going, or are you kind of weak with it?
It depends. I haven't played in a minute, so I need like some more practice. But I can play like some fillers. I can play like some songs if you gave me some time. But saxophone is a different type of beast.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, saxophone. I would say drums and saxophone is about the same level as hard. Drums is easier to pick up initially if you have rhythm. But in order, like people think everybody, they'd be like, what do you want to play first? Drums. because it's simple to just say boom, pat, boom, pat.
But nah, that jump hard because I tried to jump on there once and just play around after church.
Yeah.
And like each part of your body is doing something different.
It's
and my brain can't. Yeah.
I would say it's probably the most physically demanding instrument because
my brain will start to make my leg mimic one of my hands. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it's physically demanding, and it's like you have to pay attention because if you just start, like, when you hear a beat, think about it. When you hear a beat, you just start phasing out and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's what a beat is for. You're supposed to not hear the beat, but still feel the beat. So when you're playing the drums and you're making the beat and you phase out, all of a sudden you're speeding up, slowing down, speeding up, slowing down.
Oh yeah, that's the thing too.
And then the thing about it, another hard thing about drumming is how long you have to play. Like when you're playing for a church service or a certain concert, whatever, you're playing for like 3 hours or something like that. Playing for that long, and then you got to play it fast, slow, and then it's like from people that's played drums. I think all of us have picked up some drumsticks before. To actually play it and play the same beat for an hour and not speed up or slow down and play along with the track. It's not
all the other instruments are almost dependent on you as well.
Yeah,
you know
the drum beat is the heartbeat of the song.
Yeah.
So it's like if the drum beat messes up, it's like if your heart skips a beat or something.
Yeah, everything else follows.
Everything's gonna be like, what happened? You know what I mean? Like even if it's something like your heart's not messing up, but it's like it skips a beat for a second, everything's gonna be like, what was that? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
So we covered the music, we covered your camera work. Is there anything else you wanted to shout out? Anything that you had coming up? Or
man, I got some big things coming up. Stay tuned. If you follow Cannadyvisions, we're gonna start. I don't want to say too much about it.
Yeah.
2025 is gonna be big. We're gonna introduce another level of Cannadyvisions.
Okay.
It's gonna be something to do with financials.
Oh wow.
And
might be giving some lessons or something, man.
Yeah, it may not be like exactly lessons, but it's gonna be like how to be disciplined and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And just some things like that, and even with some type of investing too. So y'all just stay tuned. It's gonna be out there pretty soon. You're gonna see.
And I don't want to tempt you, but all the young missionaries in training, he's a college graduate, he's a leader. If y'all looking for somebody, hit up Cannadyvisions, you know.
Yep, get you right.
But I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up.
Yes, sir.
And
thank you for having me on the show, man.
Nah, no problem. I appreciate it. And y'all go ahead and check out Impact Podcast.
Oh yeah.
Tuesdays at 9. If y'all haven't already watched it, there's 3 seasons that y'all can go back.
You have your selection of which season you want. Like, think about it. We all go through things in life, and we've covered a lot of topics that's very relatable to what we go through. The first season, we talked about the importance of I think that was the first season. I think the first season was Impact season. It was just talking about how we
impact and everything.
It was talking about how we can impact our community, how we can be impactful in our families, how we can be impactful in our school, jobs, in our relationships.
Yeah.
Whatever, how we can be impactful as Christians. Second season, it was basically talking about how we can have a powerful prayer life and what we can do with prayer. Because think about it, in a world where it seems like nobody's praying anymore, or people are just playing and not praying, we really need prayer, and we really need to value it again. So we covered many topics, even how to pray, because some people, they want to pray, but they just say the Lord's Prayer every time, where that's fine. But
it's almost like a ritual almost.
Yeah, where we want to have it more personalized, so you can check that too. And then season after that, it was like Untainted and stuff like that. We had some guests too. Plenty of guests. We had some nice guests and everything. We were talking about some of the controversies dealing with what's going on in the world, because people talk about woke, but the very ones, I don't know if it's just me, Darren, but the very ones that be talking about woke are their eyes are open, but they're still asleep. They're awake, but they're sleepwalking with their eyes open. So they say they woke, but they still fall for the same traps. And that the problem with that is because they don't have God leading them, so they're still going towards the ditch, but at least they can watch as they fall. Where other people, they just fall to their death and they don't even see anything. At least they get to watch the cliff.
And the sad part is some of them really think that they're doing the work of God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the thing about it, they, like what we was talking about with it, they think they're doing the work of God, but what the problem is they still want to do their will, and they want to modify their Christian life according to making it what can I do and still be saved, instead of what must I do to be saved, you know?
Yeah, that's a good one. We gotta quote that, man.
I got that one from my dad.
Oh, for real? Oh yeah, shout out your dad, Pastor Cannady, or Bishop Cannady. Sorry.
He's like, people saying, what can I do and still be saved, instead of what must I do to be saved? So but and in the Christmas season, we talked about a lot of things, so y'all can check
and we had a whole little Thanksgiving, well, more like an episode, I believe.
And we did a lot of things this year as far as the community and everything.
Yeah, going out, and we look forward to doing that again soon, very soon. So y'all go ahead and check that out, man. Like I said, if y'all want to reach Christian, get any tips and pointers on your whatever you have as far as media, you can find them at the bottom. Christian Cannady and Cannadyvisions on Instagram. And hopefully he spark up that YouTube channel for himself soon, man. We're looking forward to that.
And also, if you have any like serious inquiry, like if you really are serious about it, you can email me at christiancannady@outlook.com. Christian Cannady spelled the same way at outlook.com, and I'll respond to you there, and I'll give you my quotes there as well. But you can still hit me up on my social medias, because I'll get back with you on there. So.
And before we get off, I just want to say too, as Christians, we got to stop being scared to charge people, man. Because I notice a lot of good Christians are doing good work for free, bro, because they scared, or they doing it cheap because they think that it's not godly or whatever to charge, bro. But your gift will make room for you. So don't run away from a charge. Like, this stuff is not free. Whatever you want to get from him, unless it's prayer or something like that. If you want physical service, man, it's gonna cost money. So y'all don't act surprised when you hit them up, you know. Definitely check them out, man. And I'm gonna go ahead and end this thing. Once again, I appreciate you, and I appreciate all y'all for tuning in.
Thank you for having me on the show. Hope I come back again sometime.
Definitely. You could be a reoccurring guest, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
matter of fact, I want to get both of y'all on here just to like clown, man. It'll be fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all.
Right, man. Take it easy.